episode off, interestingly, by sleeping, right? Since we love doing that. Since we love doing that every episode for starters. So, how long has it been? It's been too long, actually, in my opinion. But um, uh, I'm trying to think about where we left ourselves off at. That's right. We had just finished the keep, or I guess the front part, and you'll notice we made some progress since last time. So yeah, so I kind of started doing some work on it. We got some towers going here, but this is kind of what the inside looks like now, and I'm actually quite admiring it. Now, beyond the walls, I have one more surprise for this episode. Say hello to our first citizens, a couple of villagers who I gathered together. Say hello to the five down here, and then Mr. Straggler up here. He's been hard at work for the town. So they're tucked away safely in a mob-proof house. So I guess we should start this episode off, right? How are we gonna start it off? Well, I think this episode's gonna be a little bit of a calmer one, with a lot more dedication to things such as mining and ow, maybe axing a couple of zombies. But what we're gonna do actually today, and this is gonna be fun, is we're gonna go explore one of the other islands. So here we go. And I think it's just for resource gathering mainly, but I do want to start thinking about expansion and further colonizing, because that keep is impressive, but some more mossy cobblestone would be very helpful for a nice start. Um, so these islands are not cleared of mobs, and we must be very careful, because remember, we're in hardcore here. So we gotta watch ourselves. We're right. So we're start off by getting some mossy cobblestone just to supplement our dwindling supply, I'll call it. Since our supply is sadly dwindling, but you'll notice we have some friends around here. Hello there, Mr. Fox. So, why start this off with some resource gang? Well, because I think we need to talk. Number one, this is a cool dog. But number two, we need to talk about what the heck we're going to build. I have this giant keep, but no town, and we have a couple of citizens now that are eventually going to multiply, right? Because that's how we're going to do it here. So we need to figure out what the heck we need in our town and some ideas for building. So this is probably going to be an episode on a little bit of the shorter side. Anybody who's tuned into these before knows that my episodes usually run about an hour here for Rise of Brandenburg. But today, the Rise of Brandenburg might run a little bit shorter, so that way we can focus on the main question, and we can do a little bit of work on the keep, but mainly today is going to be resource gathering. So some of the proposals I do have for us are we get something of a blacksmith, maybe. I want a baker. And I don't want to die to any mobs, so this expedition might soon be over, which doesn't please me. But we're going to do as much mining here as we can, because we need as much stone as we can get. So you can go back and finish up our keep area. I should have a sword in my inventory. Nope, it broke. Lovely. I've got to make another. Well, so I think another thing we want to start building is we want to start coming up with a concept for houses. I want to stick to the Germanic Viking theme that we kind of have going here. We have a sort of Tudor house design mixed with a Norse theme, is how I'll summarize it for us. And I'm curious. Anyone that comes into the comments swims away from the zombies automatically. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna swim that guy though. Um, anyone that has comments they want to leave behind for ideas, I'm curious to see if anyone has any specific um inspirations they want to put in the comments because I do want this series to also be of you guys helping me build Brandenburg because well, you are not directly citizens here within the game since this isn't a multiplayer server. You are all a part of the process of Brandenburg's rise. So, um, we have all this beautiful land. Anyone have any designs for a port? I'm actually curious, so I'm gonna hold off on designing the port. But this keep is going to start kind of small like this because there's no need for this to be super huge because the concept is we're going to build a giant city. So we won't. We won't build a giant keep. Instead, we'll build a smallish, I'll say smallish, city. So I'll finish up the incrustations on the wall that will eventually be redone, right? Because as the city grows. But right now, the people just need a simple keep to keep them safe and protected to start. And we'll have that. I got music going while I'm doing this too. Since football season's starting, I'm starting to listen to my favorite team's theme song, which has me really excited for the season. But you'll notice the incrustations. I don't have too many of them. This is meant to be smaller, right? Just kind of operate out of. The idea is to eventually turn that into a horse stable. Probably a day we'll do that. We aren't too far. We're 7 minutes into this episode, so that's awesome. I do want to check my inventory upstairs first and see how low on supplies we are, and if I need to do an off-camera supply, kind of do. Maybe not so much for wood though. But we'll figure that out later. I will eventually do the Brandenburg flag for this once the kingdom gets itself a name. That's not just a small little keep, right? Once we reach I'll call it a suitable milestone, right? Which I think we're coming up upon that. I'm sure many of the viewers of this series will agree that that milestone is quickly approaching. But these walls are a little bit different because the way that they go down. And we're going to go do it over there too. Can I set the landing? No, I cannot. I have to figure out a way to get up here to this one, but we don't have that yet. Thankfully, this wall is entirely level. But we want to expand this up by maybe another 5. Will be the thought process. And we'll eventually get that going. We just gotta quickly. And I'll figure. Oh, I have to figure out the doorway there too. So we'll have to take a pickaxe to that, but no worries. There'll be plenty of time for that. I think that's kind of around what we want. We'll kneel down here. Just to make sure we have the right flooring dimensions. So Yeah, we're gonna have to build on top of this. But I wanted it to be at least a little bit taller, so in that way we were. So we have to create a couple more of these. But in the meantime, let's get our sleep in here. So yeah. So I do want people's opinions though on the town, and I also want food. Here we go. So we're gonna quick fill up, and probably this corner. Ah, ow. I'm sure a lot of my viewers are getting ready for football season as well. I'm stoked for another shot at a Super Bowl. So I'm just kind of thinking about that, right? You think about football season coming up, but that's just a little bit of my thoughts currently. But no, let's see this keep. So we're gonna turn this tower into something cool. And right, one of these towers will be for what I'll almost call like the head of the guard. That's where like the guard will stay. So we're gonna put that down for a sec, and then we're gonna finish this off. And yes, I will eventually add in windows once I kind of know what I want to do with it. But as you can see right now, and we're gonna go down and see it in a sec. It's a pretty neat. It's like a compact. Number one, it's a compact design, so I'm loving that. But number two, it's gonna be a building that actually has a purpose. So, kind of see it from here. These logs I am going to strip. Uh, my games gives me. There you go. Ooh. But I wanted this mainly to be a place, or this episode to be a time to talk about the future of Rise of Brandenburg and like what we're gonna tackle next. Now that this keep is done, the first project's done, and I want to clarify, like, hey, look, this series isn't gonna be me running willy nilly into the Nether and speed running the game of Minecraft, right? It's gonna be us building what I'll describe as an empire. Um, if that makes any sense. And that's the sole purpose of this series, is for us as a channel to build an empire. And I'm excited, hopefully as excited as you guys are, to be doing this. Because, I feel like basic survival in Minecraft just isn't that fun anymore. So, I'm going to go up here. So we're going to eventually spiff up the walls, right? Make them a little bit better. But this will obviously eventually be turned into a stable. And I think we just have a little bit of work that needs to be done with this. And some of it's going to be, I need to off-camera resource gather is going to be one of the main priorities. But once again, I figured I'd put this out because we haven't had an episode in a bit, and it felt unfair that we've been, sitting on Rise of Brandenburg for a little bit. So we're going to obviously do the episode, and then wait for you viewers to get back to me with your thoughts, and we'll go from there. But now that we're a bit safer, we can kind of operate with a little bit less risk. You can tell I'm finally in iron armor. A nice little finding in the last episode. But right now the biggest issue is we need resources, and I need to go off camera and mine for them. So, and I've just been bogged down with a whole bunch of stuff on the calendar to go out and have the time to do that right now. So we're going to get to that process hopefully in the next episode. And this episode, once again, says it's going to be pretty short. It was just me announcing, like, hey, look, we're still doing this, number one. But number two, this is going to be now shifting from, okay, we finished project number one, which was obviously the keep. And might I say, it looks very impressive. While we're going to finish the walls, but let's start getting together a board of projects that, the gaming general, should complete, and drive some interest for this series, obviously, because it's a great series. But yeah, that's kind of all I had for you guys today. Sorry it's a shorter episode, but I'm on crunch time as of recently, and we're just not in the resource capabilities we once were. So we're going to do some off-camera mining for the next episode. It's going to be a mini one. But I figured I'd update you guys and show you what's going on. We're starting to see this keep really, really take shape as we reach its conclusion. Thoughts on the villagers, right? What do we want to do with them? They're going to live in there for a little bit longer. And, we need to figure out how to, we need to figure out how to get a lot more resources than what we currently have. So, we're going to solve that solution before next episode. Until then, guys, I've been the Gaming General. Thank you for tuning into this episode, and make sure to leave in the comments for me what the heck we're going to do with this next episode. Like, what should we add to the town? Because we need a town out here, and we're going to need a clear path for that town. Thank you guys again. And remember, to always stay tactical with this, okay? I mean, like, we got a lot going on. And I'm trying to figure out a catchphrase to finish off with. Now I'm the gamey Joe. We changed from Rink Rat Central because we're not doing a soul hockey anymore, which kind of became apparent. But thank you all for tuning in again. And from wherever you're watching, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you again.